Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and comment down below. That is my favorite part. Yes, so if you hear laundry going, I'm sorry, I gotta do laundry and it takes a while, so it's going. But anyways, today's video is going to be ranking all of my Beauty Bay palettes. I have a lot of Beauty Bay palettes. I think this brand in particular may be a brand that I have the most of. ColourPop maybe coming in next, but it's affordable and I like their stuff, so yes. Also, I had their mini midnight and their, well, they're mini, but their medium midnight and their medium earthy palette. I actually got rid of those because I bought the big ones and they have the exact same shades in them. So I'm just ranking the big ones, not the mini ones or the medium sized ones, because I already did get rid of them. And these are the same palettes, they just have more options. Okay, starting from least favorite to favorite. It's gonna be, I got this one for free in the 3 trio. It's the Dumbo one. It just isn't my favorite. I turned on the lighting to see if you can see things better. It's doesn't have any shimmers in it, and I feel like the formula in this was different. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So going with that trend is gonna be the Jungle Book. I like the color story more. Formula is the same. Again, no shimmers, just not a favorite, but I did like the color story a little bit more. And then the Alice in Wonderland. I love the packaging of this one so much. And the color story is better, except this white I didn't really care for. I mean, like, especially when there's no shimmer and it's a small palette, I just wouldn't put a white in, but yeah. Okay. So I'll pop up numbers because I'm really terrible with numbers and it's just too complicated to say them for me. But this is the next one. It's the Earthy palette. Look, you guys, I love greens, absolutely love greens, and I love reds, okay? But their greens don't perform that great to me. They're patchy. And that's a bummer. The browns and stuff were okay. The shimmers were great. But I don't like the way that their greens perform. Which may be why they don't do a whole lot of greens. I don't know, but not my favorite. Then going with that whole trend is the Wilderness palette. This was a big disappointment to me. Big. I wanted to love this so much because this color story is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. The reds perform great. The blues perform fine. This whole row here, not a big fan of. The shimmers in this palette though are amazing, but I just had issues with the greens. Now, I didn't see a whole lot of people having issues with greens, but I did see several who were not like big YouTubers trying to get on PR lists and fake mention that they struggled with the greens too. So that's where we're at with that one. Okay, also, can I just say that instead of coming out with ones that are similar to these or taking inspiration, how about you just re-release these and make them permanent? Because they released the Earthy, the Midnight, and the Berries to offset their limited edition ones because people really liked them and wanted them and couldn't get them. So they did this instead. Personally, I hate limited edition bullshit. They should have just, in my opinion, my humble opinion, made the lines not limited edition, and then they wouldn't have had to create this big line of palettes that they just released. Okay, Sunset Horizons. Now, a lot of people complained about this palette and its formula. I didn't struggle with it. This isn't a limited edition, but they did have it on sale not too long ago, and I'm wondering if they're getting rid of it. This is only here just because of the color story. There are color stories listed, you know, more of my favorite. I do like this, and I do think it's beautiful, but, you know, that's where it's at. I have to rank them somewhere. The next one is the berries. Yep, it's here. It performs well. I do think that Beauty Bay, one, I love their shimmers, but the shimmers in here were not my favorite. Two, I love their shimmers, okay? And two, I do think that Beauty Bay creates very, very good reds and pinks. The formula of those are very good, whereas like their blues and greens especially are not that great. They're not bad, but they're not like easy to work with. I do find their pinks and reds to be great. Anyways, it's ranked here because I wasn't a big fan of the shimmers, and it's a monochromatic palette, and I have the palette that this is based off of ranked higher because it's less monochromatic and bigger, and I like it more. Love Notes. I like this palette more than I thought I was going to. I don't think that all of these colors are inclusive, but I do find that the majority of their palettes are inclusive, you know, but yeah, this palette isn't for every skin tone, I don't think, but I did really like this palette more than I thought I would, but it's still not like my top favorite, but everything performed great, and yeah. The next one is the Midnight, the large one by Beauty Bay. I love purples and I love blues, and I love them together, and it's just so beautiful to look at. It's a monstrous fucking palette, right? But it's beautiful, and I love some of the shimmers in here, and I just love this color combination. I didn't have any issues with the ones that I did use in this palette, but you need to go dark to light in my eyes. It's easier that way, and instead of doing more windshield wiper motions, I feel like you have to pack it on and just tap it to blend it. Okay, so the next one is the Fiery 2.0. I love this palette, you guys. I have no complaints. I felt like it performed really well. Of course, I have not used every single shade in these big palettes, but the shades that I did use, I felt like perform really well. I love this Tiger shimmer. It's like my favorite. I don't really like this top row. They could totally omit that one and I wouldn't be sad, and maybe even this one. I like these bottom four rows, but I really love their reds. I love the formula of this. I love these bright yellows. I just like this palette a lot, and that Tiger shade is just amazing. But yeah, I like this palette. The next one is the New Romantic. I like how deep this goes. I love things that go deep. I love the mid-tones and the light tones. So this has everything that I prefer in a palette: deep, mid, light. And I like the shimmers. I like the way that this palette performs. I think it's a beautifully done palette. No issues whatsoever. Now we're in my top 3. Age of Opulence. People say they hate this packaging. I actually like it. What does that say about me? I don't know. Okay, but I like it. I got this from Andi Does Stuff. She hated the formula. She hated the way it performed. I liked it. I love how deep it goes. I love purples and teals and blues, and we could probably do away with the browns. My biggest complaint with this palette is it doesn't have a mid-tone or light tone range. It's not very good, and it's very confusing with the layout with how those, you know, light tones, mid-tones, and dark tones kind of come through. But I really do love this palette so much. So my second palette is a palette that a lot of people didn't like. Now, I'm kind of biased because I really do love Nikki Tutorials. I love her. I think she's amazing at makeup. I love the fact that she's out now. Yeah. What can I say? I don't really watch much of her content anymore, but I do like her. And this was my first Beauty Bay palette that I got. So I have those memories tied to this palette, and I use the shit out of this palette, but not all of the shades perform that great. Okay? So it's number 2 because of the memories, packaging, and the fact that I love Nikki Tutorials. But also, I really do think that the best shimmers are in this palette. Her Pride shimmer here is amazing. This All In is amazing. So those 2 shimmers just make this palette. Some of the shimmers aren't my favorite, but I do like them. I love this color story. I know a lot of people don't, but I really do. And my favorite red of all time is in this palette. My 2 favorite reds, to be honest, which is the Slasher and the Mackay shade. I love those 2 reds so much, which I've actually found dupes of in other Beauty Bay palettes, which is awesome because I can see the grid in these. I think probably if I use this palette like 5 more times and I concentrated on those shades, I would be hitting pan. I did hit pan in the Ivy. But yeah, I don't like this plot twist. I want to love Amsterdam, but it's so hard to use. Very hard to use. And this Vla, I don't know, shade isn't the best. But I really do like this palette, and I'm so happy to have it. Yeah, it's number 2, which I love it so much. And I wish that Beauty Bay would collab with more creators that do more creative things, creative packaging, and not massive palettes, okay? Smaller. Because their other collab person did a very large palette, which I do kind of want, but I don't want to spend the money on it because the packaging is beautiful, but it's a very large palette and it didn't need to be. And my number 1 is the Beauty Bay Book of Magic, which is what their Midnight palette was going off of. I really just wish they would have made this permanent. I love it. I love it so much. Dark, mid, light, and the shimmers in this palette too are amazing. I feel like they're kind of changing their shimmer formula, and it's not my favorite. So yes, this crystal shade is just takes my breath away. And again, I love this combination, and it's called the Book of Magic. Like, yeah, I love that too. So yeah, this is my number 1 favorite. Are you guys surprised? I really doubt you are. Let me know down below. If you've used Beauty Bay, what do you think of their formula? Are you interested in Beauty Bay? Do you have a favorite Beauty Bay palette? I kind of want the brights, but I have so many. I don't need any more, you guys. I'm addicted to palettes. I have a problem. But yeah, just let me know. Would you have ranked these differently? Yeah, and you guys, I have swatched all of these palettes. So if you want to see them swatched out, I have a playlist of palette swatches, and you can see all of these swatched. And yeah, if you're looking to buy any and you're not sure or whatever. I know some of these are discontinued, which sucks. And like I said, I really hate that. And I really wish they would just do away with that concept and they would just have more permanent line, or even make it more permanent for longer. Like all of their releases for the year are good for the whole entire year or something, not just for 3 months. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that down below. Do you like limited edition palettes? Do you not? I don't know. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching this video. I know it's super long, but there's a shit ton of palettes. Yeah, okay, I really hope to see you next time. Bye.